Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to some more Boltgun. I have played a decent number of levels since I did the first impressions, probably like 5 or 6, and I reached a point where things seem to be especially corrupted by the warp, so I thought this would be a good place to jump back in and do a follow-up video. However, I'm not actually sure how far I am in the game, because you can see I only have half of the arsenal still. We saw the first 3 guns in the first impressions. The plasma gun is honestly a little disappointing, because even against enemies that it is penetrating the armor of, it doesn't do that much damage. But the heavy bolter, which you have to, aim and fire and you go a little slower while you're firing it, has been very satisfying to use. But yeah, you can see that there is warp taint all over here. Got some screamers, one of the other classic Tzeentch demons. But yeah, this thing is very satisfying to tear through crowds of enemies with. And even though it's only strength 5, it is pretty good against stuff like Terminators, which I think are toughness 6? They might only be toughness 5, but I've been using this to kill them for the most part. The plasma gun, not so much. It's like okay, but it's not as powerful as I feel it should be. And I'm guessing that's because they want you to use the melt-a-gun against the really, hard targets once you get that. I haven't found any ammo for it yet, so I don't know if it's coming anytime soon, but, again, I feel like we gotta find a gun in this level. The last level ended with a boss fight against a Lord of Change, one of Tzeentch's greater demons. So far, I haven't seen a lot more Nurgle. There was the Plague Toads, there was some big Plague Toads, and that's it. I haven't seen, like, a, bigger Nurgle boss. Alright. Well, we seem to be in the warp at the moment. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I've been having a good time with this game. It is a little heavy on big arena with just a whole bunch of enemies in it. Some levels will have like 4 or 5 of those, where it's just like, okay, now you have to purge the heretics before you can leave this room. But aside from that, like, the moment-to-moment gameplay is pretty good. The ammo is actually not as limited as a review made me think, because usually there's more of it than you need. But yeah, you can see why the... Oh, this is a really bad place to fight one of these. You can see why the heavy bolter is a lot of fun. I didn't even know that exalted flamers were a thing. I've never seen one of those before in, like, the tabletop. But again, chaos is not one of my specialties of things I've read a lot of the wiki on. I still have not gotten used to the fact that this bolter is on 1 and not 2. For some reason, I don't know what game it is that causes that, but I always try to pull it out with 2. I also found a single void grenade so far, which basically throws a black hole. Though, after playing Entropy 02 with the Zen grenades that do a similar thing, but then also spawn Zen creatures, they're a little disappointing by comparison. Even though it's not the most effective weapon against certain enemies, I still find the bolter very fun to use as well. I just haven't run into a whole lot of human enemies for a while. I'm kind of in the demon-infested zone. Also, I never did find any of those anti-demon bolts, but I did find vengeance bolts, which are unstable, like, fusion bolts. Also, our servo skull can sometimes point out secret doors. The only one I found, like, hidden in a wall was because he pointed it out and you just walk up and hit E on it, but it'll tell you, like, press E. So, they're not that hidden if you rub against the wall, but I've only seen one of those. I haven't found a lot of use for the charge, because it only kills weak enemies, and otherwise you basically just charge into enemies, they get pushed along with you, and then they just hit you when they come out of it if it doesn't kill them. This guy has spawned on top of a box that he can't get off of. Also, I didn't realize this in the first impressions, but with the chainsword, if you keep mashing the button when you hit somebody with it, you'll rev it and just keep sawing through them. So that's how you actually do significant damage with the chainsword. And I think it stun locks them unless they are a melee enemy, or like a strong melee enemy. Because I've definitely had certain ones like knock me back when I try to do that. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, horribly heretical. Please don't purge. The shotgun, I've honestly felt, does not have that much of a role in this game. It's weak, except against weak things, and you don't have a lot of ammo for it. Like, it's alright when you want to save ammo, but since ammo is really not that limited overall, I honestly feel like a lot of times it doesn't fit in the arsenal. And this looks like a secret out here. That's a void grenade, which is just like a twisted servo skull. But yeah, you check one of those and it is basically a black hole. I wasn't sure about the sound on the heavy bolter initially, because I'm like, oh, it sounds kind of weak, the little bup 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 bup. But combined with the sound of the actual bolts going off, I think it works out. I thought those were like bats or something, but they're like just weird particles. I guess they are just shapeless Immaterium. So I think we're going to do like maybe a level or two, depending on how interesting the level looks, I guess. But this one seems pretty neat. And different from what I've been doing so far. Because I fought my way into the Bastion, which is, you know, cool Gothic architecture, but it's all Gothic architecture. Alright, we got 2 ways to go, which means one of them is a dead end. I guess it's this one. Now, that looks like I might want to jump down, but that might be where I came from. You know anything about Screamers is they have a tendency to get behind you. Because they'll spawn above you, and then, like, quietly slip down behind you while you're shooting at something else. Alright, I think we're good. But I bet there's a secret behind this portal. Really? That seemed like such an obvious place to hide one. Like, they're not going to bother looking back here when the exit's right there. I feel like we would be classified as tainted by the warp simply for using these portals. The other thing I didn't know in the first impressions is there's a taunt button. Which is fun to just throw in there sometimes, but it doesn't actually do anything, obviously. Nades. But a lot of health, or sorry, a lot of secrets, which are typically health, are just in these crates. Like, they don't expect you to look behind them or whatever. I don't think there's been a level, though, where I found every secret. It's like such a simple effect, but I love how that looks. It definitely looks like it's kind of hard to look at in person. Well, I guess we're going this way. Oh boy. There's a lot going on out there. There are definitely times where it feels like the best strategy is just to walk backwards into the door you came out of so that they all bunch up. So yeah, I've died a few times, but I haven't found hard difficulty super punishing because they give you so much health everywhere. There'll be times where you drop down to like really low health, but then after the fight you'll notice a bunch of med packs lying around and get right back up to full. If your health was capped at 100 instead of 200, I think that would be a different case. I'm surprised that wasn't a secret, but yeah, a lot of crates like this that have 2 health packs and 1 contempt. Half the time, I don't even know where he is when he tells me that. He really doesn't, like, stick that close to you most of the time. Alright, chuck a vortex grenade. Suck everything into it. That was maybe not the best use of it, because I'm pretty sure it can kill much stronger enemies, but I'm not going to hold on to that stuff. I always do that in games where it's like, oh, this thing is super limited, so I'm just never going to use it. Not anymore. Okay, we got a lot of screamers. So just hold it down. Obviously, you don't want to do that if there's other enemies right next to you, because they'll just keep hitting you while you're doing it. You can see there's so much ammo around and grenades and everything that you can just constantly be chucking all that stuff out. And you should be. Like, I already don't use the grenades as much as I should be, because half the time I don't have room to pick them up. These guys are pretty nasty, though, these aspiring champions, because once you kill them, they turn into a ascended champion. Unless you give them before they're done getting up. See, if you shoot him while he's doing that animation, then he won't get back up. Same with the pink horrors. If you give them, they won't split into 2. But that guy's mostly annoying because his armor goes up by 1 when he transforms. So yeah, you can see even against a regular Space Marine, it takes 3 shots with the plasma rifle to kill him. Alright, prevented that one from going. There's a Terminator. Now, I also don't think there's a risk of your plasma gun overheating and exploding in this, which would not be too fitting with the style of game they went for. I actually meant to switch there. You can only carry 1 at a time, but crack grenades are really good for softening up the tough targets like that. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab the other one here. should go back for that health, but I honestly don't care. There will be more health. And checkpoints in this are very generous, so even if you die, it's like, okay, I gotta do this fight again. And that's about it. There we go. Oh, that one had 200 armor instead of 200 health. Any secrets? Nope, just another portal. Alright, back to the warp we go. Location unknown, exit unknown. I don't know where the fuck we are. Oh man. Do you think it's actually going to flip my perspective? Because that would be really cool. But yeah, this is the kind of like crazy chaos-tainted level design I was hoping for. Because like, I think Dusk is a good example of a game that starts with pretty basic level design, but then it gets really crazy when you get to Act 2, and you start getting really interesting levels like the Escher Labs. I think that's really where that game started to shine for me, is when you get to that second episode. Because the first one, you're fighting cultists in villages and towns, but nothing too wild. Oh boy. Wait, did it warp me back because I went to the wrong teleporter? Nope, it does just spit you out. I just fell back into it. Okay. Oh boy. So, I guess... Those screamers are really good at body blocking you too because they're so big. Alright, let's try this one. Also, I believe those black armored Space Marines are just called, like, the Black Chapter. They used to be Horus's Luna Wolves, but then they just became the generic Chaos Undivided Space Marine Chapter. Because they did used to be the paint job you'd always see on, like, official Games Workshop stuff. The black Chaos armor with gold trim. So I think that's who that's supposed to be in this. They might just be, like, generic Chaos Space Marines. No Emperor's Children so far, which, if I'm remembering, are the only super Tzeentchian? No, I guess they're not Tzeentchian, are they? Are they Tzeentch or Slaanesh? There's the one chapter that are all, like, soulless automatons. You know, their soul is just bound into their armor, but there's no body anymore because it was eaten by their god. I think that's the Thousand Suns. Am I just running in a loop here? God damn it. I keep jumping backwards into the portal. Oh, they don't link back to the same portal. Okay. You want to go through and then jump and not immediately fall. Or just not move. Oh, you have to immediately jump. Oh boy. We go up here. Jump the gap. So I think we want to take a running start through this portal and then immediately jump when we go through. Nope, that's not the right one. It's the next one. Yeah. There's probably a secret in this room, and I will never find it, because... holy shit. Oh, you know... that area directly below us looks like there might be something down there. That might be a secret there, because you can definitely land on those crates and then jump into the portal. Anything down there? We're back here. There's a portal directly below. I would not be surprised if there are more screamers that are, like, lost in here. Yeah, it looks like there's a portal directly under there, but I think that's the one that dropped me upside down. Alright, let's try this little area. This might be a secret. I've yet to find a secret that had a gun in it, either. You know, like getting early access to a gun that you'd otherwise have to naturally progress to find. Okay, good. It didn't make me crouch, because you can't crouch. Oh, I actually did need that. Now where are we? I have no idea if that was the way to go. It seems like the way to go and not a secret. I like the way that these statues look in this, you know, pseudo-pixely 3D as well. Just something about the combination looks really good. You know, I've done a lot of gazing into the void, but I've yet to see the void gaze back at me. Those guys are actually dangerous, the renegades with plasma guns. Because the renegades aren't just cultists, they are actually Imperial Guard, who have been corrupted, so they actually have decent gear. Isn't this where we just came from? Like, there's literally corpses here from our... I guess these crates were in the way before. Did going through the warp cause them to move the crates? They're like, oh, he's gone. There's no way he's coming out of that weird hallway full of teleporters. Alright, well, our health is doing pretty good. Like I said, no matter how low you get, you'll always get bumped right back up pretty quick. As long as you can hang in there. Okay, we got a sphere here. Alright, we're trapped in here, so I can't back up. Greetings, servant of the false throne. I see you found your way to me at last. You move with the leaden feet of your corpse emperor. Already have gained, and I didn't get to read the rest. Kind of hard to read this without getting shot. So, is there a traitorous psyker in the middle of this orb? Oh, there he is. Yeah, it's Traitor Marine, Psyker, a Sorcerer. So it's interesting that we have a boss fight level after another boss fight level, because that was the first boss I fought. Or at least the first thing that I could tell was a boss. I don't know, they might have counted the first big Plague Toad as a boss as well, but it didn't feel like it. Alright, where are you at? He's like teleporting around, so. Unfortunately, I also don't have anything that really punches through his armor, because he's got 6, so all I have is the plasma rifle, which is, again, not very strong. Okay, some of the enemies will be shielded by the portal, or orb, or whatever that is. It works perfectly well against weak enemies. But that's not what it's for. Where the fuck is this sorcerer? This would have been a good place to use the void grenade, I think. And there's plenty of supplies around here. I was hoping we'd get a new gun in this level, though. Alright, I'm gonna try and hit him with a crack grenade, because that should do some good damage to him. It did not. He has a hit scan laser. The only enemy in the game with a hit scan weapon. So far. The ledge grab is sometimes a little inconsistent. Sometimes I feel like you'll just kind of slide along the ledge without grabbing it if you don't hit it straight on. I'm used to Deep Rock Galactic where the ledge grab is very generous. Okay, so he's shielded. He is linked to an enemy. Take out the enemy, and then we can shoot him. Alright, now my health is looking pretty bad. And... well, I was gonna say, if this fight goes on too long, it could be an actual problem, because there's only so much health in this room. And I don't know if this guy is infinitely summoning more enemies. That was a waste. I just wasted 92 armor doing that. Alright, where is he at? I want to just kind of dump as much as I can on him. Oh no. Stop. I want to take out the Screamers immediately, though, because they are going to be a problem, as I've mentioned. Oh, there's a... is that a quad damage here? Yep. Now we just gotta find the sorcerer and dump on him. I wish that this didn't make your screen so dark, though, because it can actually be a problem in darker rooms to figure out what the hell you're shooting at. Yeah, that is definitely the way to go. There has been a lot of times where there's been a power-up around that I didn't notice until after the fight. And it's like, oh, cool, I guess. Oh, what did I just hit? I just hit a screamer in midair and it knocked me off my path. Gotta find some health. But we got really good damage in there, so I think we should be able to finish him if I don't die in the next few seconds. I say while dying in the next few seconds. Oh boy. Don't. Okay, good. I didn't get it this time. You can also quick save, even though there are checkpoints. So if I want to just quick save after killing these screamers, I could. And I might, honestly, because this is a little bit of a tedious fight, otherwise. I thought that was the sorcerer at first, because he also throws blue fireballs. Oh boy. You know, it'd be really nice if my servo skull would fucking tell me where he is. I don't even know where he went. He might not have come through the portal with us, or he might have just disappeared. Alright, we need to get up to the top and grab that power up. Oh man, those ledges. I think that's them back there. I'm gonna save the power up until he teleports away. So that way he'll already have some damage on him and hopefully we can just finish him off. Now you can fire this thing more rapidly than I have been. I'm just doing single shots, but you can hold it down for a decent rate of fire. I think that makes it less accurate though. So I haven't been using it too much, because it's already not the most accurate. Alright, where are you at, fucker? Announce your location to me. Where the hell is he? He's not at the top. So he's got to be down here somewhere. Alright, now he teleported up there. I am out of plasma. Shit. The only thing that can hurt him. Well, the only thing that could hurt him significantly. I could just unload on him with the heavy bolter and chip away at him. Which I have done with other strong enemies before. Alright, I think he went up again. I do like that there's also an audio effect, so you can tell you're hitting armored enemy that you're not, you know, directly affecting without looking at their armor rating. Alright, now I just need to find a little bit more plasma to finish him off. Or maybe not. Okay. I did not expect there to be a cutscene.
The commandant has detected information on the power source. True. Seems a foul heretic that still wants them ahead of us. These files have their clumsy marks all over them. The fragments inside some kind of vault. You'll have to move quickly if you're to get there before that infernal sorcerer.
Where do we find that? Where do we find a land speeder? Alright, well that was a neat level. Wasn't expecting there to be a boss, but I'm kind of glad there was. Ooh. This is a very different look from what I've been playing so far. I'm glad we're back outside again. Oh no! They took away all of my weapons. Why? You know, that's basically like starting a new episode in, like, Doom. But I wasn't expecting that in this game. Especially considering I've only seen half the weapons. So I wonder now if we're going to be going into, like, a more Nurgle-infested area. Because that was, like, the Tzeentch area. Alright, well, we're not going to do the whole level, but let's just kind of look around a little bit, see if we maybe find a new weapon. So this game might actually be longer than I was expecting. I find the Nurglings are extra annoying because they tend to hop, so you can't just aim at the ground. Also, sometimes you'll find them mooning you when you first come on them. Because that's a very Nurgling thing to do. They just like to have fun. Grandfather Nurgle is a bit of a joker himself, but his jokes are usually horrible, like eyeball-exploding pus and other kinds of pestilence. He just wants his minions to go out there, spread the pox, and have a laugh. Alright, Dragonfire Boltgun. Haven't found that yet, but those are obviously incendiary rounds. I like how there's not even an attempt at explaining why we lost our weapons. It's not like, oh, you gotta leave those behind because they were warp-tainted. It's just like, nope, now you don't have them anymore. There's something about the general, like, low-poly look of this and the color palette that almost makes me think this is like a Spyro level. You know, Spyro has its fair share of desert levels. Is that a... No. Probably shouldn't waste my good bolt. Okay, so here we have a Plague Toad that I don't have a weapon that can penetrate. So they just want you to dump on him. Death Guard units. Okay, so now we're getting different Space Marines. What the fuck is that? Bloat drone. I've never seen one of those before either. Even outside of the game. I wonder if they want me to just be using crack grenades for now to take out the armored guys. And just stick some skulls on there. Naturally occurring spikes. So yeah, this game has been overall a very pleasant surprise, especially because there haven't been a whole lot of FPS games set in the Warhammer 40k universe, and the ones that have come out have all been either bad or kind of janky. You know, Fire Warrior is supposed to be really bad. I'd like to take a look at that at some point because I do have it, you know, the GOG release. It not only is not supposed to be a great game, but it also doesn't run great on a modern PC, even with fixes. And then, like, the Terminator Deathwatch was janky from the Divine Cybermancy people. I'm trying to think of other FPS games. The Necromunda game was apparently pretty decent, but still janky. With your teleporting dog. I gotta go this way. So yeah, there haven't been that many good 40k FPS games. Darktide seems to be... I mean, I only played a little bit, but I watched a decent amount as well. It seems to be a good shooter wrapped up in a bad model. You know, the whole, like, no real story, just kind of repeating missions to sell you cosmetic loot. But the moment-to-moment actual shooting is good, at least. I would be playing Darktide, even if it isn't great because it is on Game Pass, but it does not run great on my computer. Apparently it doesn't run that great on anybody's computer, but, you know, if you've got a strong enough PC, you can kind of brute force it into working. But it was definitely not optimized at launch. Or in the beta. Fucking goddammit. Right as I threw that, I was like, that's gonna hit the spike. I like how the tongue is not actually a sprite, it's a 3D tongue. Despite the fact that the toad itself is a sprite. It had to be done. Alright, we got another upgrade here. So that'll put us up to strength 5 at least. The upgrade is not just a straight strength upgrade. It differs depending on what weapon you pick it up with. Like the heavy bolter just makes it shoot faster. And I don't think I've tried it on... No, I did try it on the plasma gun, but I don't actually know what it did. It didn't noticeably do anything different. And I haven't tried it on the shotgun. Alright. Now, the unfortunate thing about this being a Nurgle area is that Nurgle army's whole thing is that they're slow and very tanky. And I'm guessing that's going to be the case here from these plague toads. And we need a key. Boy, they really threw me in the deep end with a bunch of these guys at once. Oh, there's an aspiring champion there? Fuck that. Alright, well, I think that's a good enough follow-up. It's a shame that we didn't get to see any other new weapons aside from the heavy bolter, but I am definitely going to be playing more of this, and who knows, maybe I'll do one more video when I'm like near the end of the game. No guarantees though, just a maybe kind of thing. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm probably going to finish it in the next few days. So thank you for joining me for this look into the taint of chaos that we faced last level. And I would still recommend this game. It's not perfect. It does have some flaws and some bad encounter design here and there, but for the most part, it has just been a good time for people who enjoy classic shooters. Anyhow, I'm Shadefyre, and you folks all take care.
My love of the Imperium is matched only by my hatred of the heretic. Forget nothing.